I think we're live again. Gerald, we got talking about the bayou and the alligators came and not alligators. Yeah, the alligators.
I think we're live.
All right, we are back, but we lost our chat. Our chat has to find us again. Come find us, chat. All right, we got 3 people watching. People are back.
There we go. Hey there.
This is part 2. If you were watching and lost us, we're back. I don't even know what happened.
There we go.
All right, so bowlers are from all around the country are gonna come here to bowl.
Yeah.
In the bayou.
Yeah, you know that was my first trip when it was the Open.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I actually bowled with my father. That was our first event together, and it was here in the Rouge, and
that's awesome.
hung out at that casino on the boat and all that stuff. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
I don't have any food recommendations yet for folks, but I might have one. I don't know when we're gonna have one.
We went to man, Route 60. Man, figure this out. Route 61 Seafood and Grill. That's where we went last night. I had this catfish look.
You start bowling at 2:30.
Had a catfish le bar, and it was like basically a catfish, fried catfish on top of rice.
Oh, that's good.
And mixed with
crab
meat and all this other yum stuff. It was great. That was the first time I ever had like crawfish or whatever. It had the crawfish meat and all that stuff in it. It was great.
The bowling center here today is going to make some jambalaya.
You see that? You heard that?
I did.
Yeah.
I know. I'm about to.
I think I'm going to dabble into it just to try. I mean, we are in Louisiana.
I had jambalaya the other day and it was fantastic.
I've never had it while being in Louisiana.
You almost got that.
You see that?
I did. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Never had it in Louisiana. I have family members from here that's made it, while home in North Carolina, but I'm going to have to try it.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
We're going to have to do a little taste.
Tasting.
A little tasting and see what the bowling alley is talking about here.
I think the key to jambalaya is the seasoning, right?
Yeah. A little two-step. I don't know. Maybe a little two-step.
Oh, Avery says crawfish season is in April.
Yeah. So like the crawfish or something like that is real small right now.
Okay.
Whereas in April they're bigger, and I guess juicier. I don't know.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
I had some shrimp.
I'm learning.
Outrageously good.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get some gator bites tonight.
Ooh, gator bites.
Yeah. I'm give me some gator bites tonight.
Talking about the gators, I love it. All right.
That's technically not a fine for cooking it.
I know. Don't hit him with a car, but
you can eat them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to figure this out. I'm not smart enough for this.
Oh man.
We got Connor here. Connor putt-putted last night in our little putt-putt challenge.
So who won the putt-putt challenge?
Well, it was not Norm Duke, let me tell you.
No?
Well, he did this target score thing where he's like, everyone that beats me is going to get a prize. And then his target score was a little higher.
A little higher than he expected.
Yeah, so we're going to have a drawing of all the people that beat the target score.
Yeah.
Because,
Norm's a golfer, too, so...
Well, here's what we didn't anticipate for dear Norm. It got dark pretty quick.
It did.
And so he said the visibility got a little rough on some of the holes.
Okay. Well, at least we had Norm instead of Chris Barnes. Chris Barnes is like a professional putt-putt player.
No kidding. Yeah, you do not want to go up against... Yeah. Kids, if you're listening, don't ever challenge Chris Barnes in putt-putt.
Yeah, we're going to put you on game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a little tip right there.
Yeah.
Just in case that guy tries to challenge you in some putt-putting. Do your research on that,
He'll
man.
be hustling you.
Yeah, he can shoot the basketball and he can putt.
Yeah. Crystal says you gotta have some beignets. I had beignets.
I had that when I was in New Orleans.
Yeah. We went to Cafe du Monde.
Okay, yeah.
Which is like the famous one.
Yep.
But I heard there's some local ones that have like this one. If you go to Cafe du Monde, you get like beignet, right?
Yeah,
like
you get the whole. Yeah, you get
it is a big beignet and some powdered sugar. But I guess they have some places now that you can put caramel sauce and chocolate sauce, and
oh wow,
you can jazz up your beignet.
I mean, I guess that's great.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the
OG.
the OG.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. But if you have any recommendations in the Rouge,
yeah, let us know.
The Red Sticks, let us know.
We're all listening.
Beignets are fire.
They are. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a 243 down there. But look at this. This is I don't know who it was, but we had an open, and then
Hunter Moffett.
Oh, it was Hunter? No. Up top. Open.
Oh yeah.
8-bagger. And then
a split 240.
Split 243. That's when you go really, really bowling gods. Really.
Yeah.
Hunter's killing it down there too.
Yeah, he has a strike open and string to the 9th. Like he left a 9-pin in the 10th, so hopefully he spares it up. He can shoot 247, so that'd be a solid game.
There was a 260 last game. I think that's the highest I've seen so far. I was trying to see if the scores were updated. Rain is asking if anyone's using an Ion Max. I have seen some Ion Maxes this morning go down the lane. They definitely were using them in that matchmaker yesterday. Everyone was loving those.
Very good benchmark ball right there.
So we got plus 76 after 4. Mr. Sebastian Vetter.
And then
actually he has 4 games in.
Correct.
But, Harper Burnett before that was plus 78 for 3. Poncho, look at Poncho. 249, 214, 187. So lost it a little bit last game. To see what he does his 4th game.
Yeah, 4th game. A solid 4th game. He could jump in the midst there.
William here, 267. Sebastian actually just bowled 257. So yeah, there's some transitioning and some scores. Zach says spares are very important, but 8-baggers tend to raise the score a lot quicker.
Touche. Yeah. They can.
Papa Frank was watching earlier. Doesn't he call you 8-bagger?
Oh, he calls me. It depends. If I'm not on his good side, he calls me Avery Bagger. It is but 12. He was 7-bagger,
6-bagger,
6-bagger,
4-bagger.
But when I'm on his good side, he's 12-bagger, 12-bagger. He takes care of me. I love you some Papa.
That's funny.
See Nana earlier. She dropped off some cookies.
Oh, cookies?
She did.
Why'd you get cookies?
Yeah, I'll share them with you.
Okay,
you have some.
Oh, look, I have biscotti. You want some biscotti?
What is that?
It is delicious. Now listen.
I'm going to try it, chat.
Biscotti normally is really like kind of hard, but Deb Cynic makes this one.
Is this in the office?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some more.
Okay.
Oh, if we lose G, we know where he went.
See you later, chat. I'm about to go get me out of this plane.
Norm is coming back, so you'll get some more.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah, and I love it because like normally it's super. Like if you just get biscotti, it's hard. And you have to dunk it in something. You don't gotta dunk that in anything.
No, oh my.
Yeah.
Cynic, she makes some good stuff.
She does make some good stuff. You're not kidding.
There we go. You got it, spare.
Braden, hands up. He's cheering on LSU apparently today. We got an LSU jersey going on.
That's fair, you know.
We won't talk about that.
As a Bengals fan, you know, I have some LSU guys on my team. And,
you do. That's true.
Yeah. I'm a Bengal, so I always, you know, I have some little love for the LSU.
Yeah, all right.
You know, Mr. Joe Burrow and
For sure.
Jamal Chase, and even Randy Moss's kid when he was playing there. He was a tight end there. So
Man, Chase had an unreal game
oh, the
last week.
three touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had like what 100 fantasy points or something. I don't think it was that high, but yeah.
I think it was like it was like 50, 60 points, and I think Cliff was playing against somebody that had Chase in both legs, so
He was not happy.
he wasn't happy about that one.
Oh, Crystal says our guy's a Bengals fan as well, too.
There we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have to show him some love then.
Yeah,
You know, that's
right?
it's not many of us Houdayers out there.
Yeah, well, it's easier to be a little louder about the Houday than it was in the 90s.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's a little,
it was.
Yeah.
It was. That's a rough one.
All right, Gerald. Well, you got tons of cool gear. If anyone's in the building, come
That's
check
right.
it out. I'm still going to pick up one of those tie-dye sweatshirts.
They're going quick.
Oh,
They're
I
going
better
quick.
grab one at lunch.
You had to let me know what size.
Okay.
I'll try to set you one aside.
Oh, yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
They got a little tie-dye action this event.
Yeah, we had to give the roses to Brandy on that one.
Yeah?
Brandy was
She's
we had
digging the
we had
tie-dye?
the tie dyes for the youth at the beginning. Then we tried some different colors, and we were like, you know what, we should make these for the SYC, and they turned out great. We were supposed to introduce these sweatshirts at the Coastal, but it's fine. It worked out.
It all worked out.
It worked out. They're great. That's some new flavor we're going to add to the list
Well,
of
I'm
stuff.
digging
But
it.
come see us at the table.
And we'll have a long break. It's going to feel like forever when we don't see you until Vegas. But we still got you this weekend. You're going to come back and
That's
chat with
right.
us some more this afternoon.
We figured out that gap there, and we may have to come to Utah or something like that.
Let's do it.
Just to make sure,
Let's do it.
show some love.
All right, we'll be right back. Jay,
All right, chat.
we'd love
See y'all
for
later.
You, yeah, later this afternoon. You're coming back.
I'll be back.
All right, we'll see you.
All right.
We'll see you later. All right, we are back, and I am joined again by Hall of Famer Norm Duke. Norm, you have the coolest name ever.
Yeah.
You really do.
Let me just
Norm
laugh at that right quick.
Duke. Like
Man.
letters. 4 letters.
Well,
great.
what it is Norman Albert Duke. Okay. And I thought, what were my mom and my dad thinking when they named me Norman Albert? Okay,
Yeah.
so I got the story. Mom says, hey, you were named after both granddads. One of them was Rastus Albert, and the other one was Norman Augustus. So you were either Norman Albert or Rastus Augustus.
So you're like, thank you very much.
And I'm almost happy. And I said, can I take the A-N off and just be Norm? She said, sure. And that's when I did it. I said, okay, we're done.
No, it's a great name. I think it's great.
Okay. Does anybody in the world like their own name?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
No.
James Dean. Hate
Yeah.
that name, right?
Right. My full name. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Because we will talk about bowling, I promise. We'll introduce the players. But Blair Elizabeth Sprouse Blumenscheid.
Ooh. I need a moment.
Yep.
I'm shortening that, okay?
Yeah. But then, and I love my parents dearly, but my mom tells me, probably when I don't know how old I was. It had to be in my 20s. I think I finally asked her, I'm like, Mom, why did you pick Elizabeth as my middle name? Right? Like, we don't have an Elizabeth that I'm named after. And she goes, oh, well, we picked Elizabeth because there's so many names in Elizabeth that you could pick if you didn't like the name Blair. Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay, but wait. But when I was, 3 or 4-year-old little Blair,
Right?
they didn't offer this to me.
No.
They didn't say, hey, do you like the name Blair, or do we want to look at these
You
other...
could do Beth. You could
Right.
do Liz, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
You could do all that. But no, they like Blair.
This was never a conversation. So I guess I had to bring it to their attention. Like, hey, I don't like this name. But I never really had an issue with my name. So anyway,
Yeah.
it was just really funny.
We don't have an issue either, Blair.
The parents that think through this stuff, yeah, anyway.
You look like a Blair,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
And I look like a Norman.
Yeah, exactly,
So there
right?
you go.
You fit your name.
So here we have in front of us about as much rev rate as I've seen on B Squad when I was bowling.
Well, we've finally made it to U18 boys is what's happening.
Oh, I see. Now
Yes.
I get it.
So these are the ones that you're going to have to stand on a chair to award their medals to in about an hour. We got Evan Morrison, Will Hudson, William Jewell III.
Who was up on the right lane?
He is. Carson Harrell, Frankie Fan, and we should have Mr. Joss Weems.
Yeah, Josh is on the left lane here.
Yes. Joss Weems, SYC champion.
Numerous times.
Fantastic kid. Just a fantastic kid. Do you know that Joss has recorded a rap
I did not know that.
about bowling?
No kidding.
Yeah, I'll let you listen to it. It's pretty cool. Fully produced and everything.
I was in a rap in bowling once. In my line, or I didn't do it. I was listening to it. The line that has me in that, it says, Marshall Holman and Norm Duke. They're so something wants to make me puke. That's in the song, just like that.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. I thought I'm mentioned here. Okay, watch Josh Weems here on the left lane. You want to see how it's supposed to be done. He bowled about 100 games yesterday.
He did. He is one that will bowl and bowl and bowl and bowl. And that was pretty good. Get them all to go.
Yeah. And that's why they throw it with two hands and all that rev rate. You see, he wasn't perfect there. He got back to the pocket, and then it just crushed him. So, in my day, that would have been a 10 pin.
Yep.
Their day is a bird dog. I love it.
We got a southpaw, Evan Morrison.
Yeah, and we have, is it Braden here on the left lane, lane 9?
Mr. Brady McDonough.
Yeah, Brady.
Junior gold champion. Passed.
You know, I was supposed to bowl with him in New York the other day,
Ah.
and they canceled our first deal because it was a celebration of bowling day and we had a hurricane. And so we did it 20 days later, and Malia
Yeah.
Briggs and I.
Oh, so Brady was supposed to...
Yeah, it's
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
be Brady.
But then he had some other commitment.
Right.
matching.
He had to go to Switzerland, I think.
Oh, all right, that's fine.
Not like he was. Not like he was just
Well,
going across town. No.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because Joss and Brady and Mateo, who's somewhere around here, they traveled to bowl the Lucky Larson this summer
Oh yeah,
in Sweden. They
Sweden.
bowled it. Yeah,
good for them.
they're getting the international experience along with the national experience at under the age of 18. Did you travel
Man, that is just so pure.
around the world before you were 18?
I was on tour at 17,
Okay.
so I traveled around America.
Okay.
I guess I was 1987. I was in 4 years before I left the country. You know, we bowled in Canada, but
Yeah.
we didn't count that. I went to Japan about year 4
Okay.
on my tour segment.
Could you imagine doing it younger and how much experience you would have had? Like just with the travel and the jet lag?
It was so cool. We almost didn't need passports back then. There was no TSA. No. It was awesome. The things that we think about now are like, no.
Yeah. Well, I just think part of what's really cool about how many opportunities there are for kids is
Yeah,
the
no doubt.
outside challenges that they face. Like, like some of them have already faced, oh, my bags are lost, my bowling balls got lost, right? Because that could be an incredibly stressful moment,
It is. No matter what. It could
Yeah.
be. No, it is. It's always that way.
right?
Yeah, you hate that. You'd rather them leave your underwear than your bowling bag. You know?
Yeah. Or like learning, oh man, I better not put that thumb under the plane. It better be with me in my backpack if you have an interchangeable thumb.
Correct.
Or
And if,
shoes.
and if you put them in the pockets in your bowling bag and you get there and they've been crushed because they've
Oh.
thrown bowling balls on top of one another, now you have no thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another
you
great
learn
one.
these things.
Yeah.
And then you learn that you get there and they don't have the same electricity mechanism. So you need this sort of plug or you can't, use your razor.
Yeah.
Stuff. Just stuff.
Another great point, right? You can't charge your cell phone.
Can't order off a menu because you can't read it. I once ordered steak tofu thinking I was going to get a big red steak, and I was so disappointed. I couldn't tell you how traumatic that was.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, what are you talking about? It says steak.
So funny. We got Carson here. Carson's going for a spare.
Carson's going to make this 9-pin. This is like, it's a given.
Now, if you cloud, okay. Just so you know, I got a black cloud graphic.
It's a given. Do you really?
I do.
Well, put it in your jar. Don't pull it out.
Carson's
All right, Will
from-
Jewell right here, and he's got a handful using non-reactive. He almost left 10-pin on the left lane. He got that out, but he leaves it on the right lane. There's Brady just sawing wood.
He's like, yeah, I'm good. Tristan here also. Look at this. Brooklyn for 5. Oh, no. Never mind. Literally 5. He left a 5 bid. See, now this is when the black cloud graphic comes to fruition. Here's my black cloud.
There we go. You should name it. It's Liz. Name it Liz or Beth.
I know, right? Oh, that's funny.
Beth Black Cloud.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm liking it.
All right. This is going for a bunch.
Oh, get it? Oh.
Oh my gosh. And see,
Northeast.
he's got a 4-bagger right now, and by the way, he's throwing the ball really, really good. But a couple of times, it's 50-50 whether he gets 9 or a strike. Now then, because he is schooled at this, he's going to make little bitty tiny adjustments to get that ball to roll in the pins right. I just know he will. So let's keep an eye on that and see if he can get the pins through the deck instead of having to rely on them hitting one another.
I want to say one thing about Mr. Ryan Burgess, who's on our Storm Junior team. He's one of our team members.
Pretty sure.
It has capybaras on it. Do you know what a capybara is?
I have no idea. In fact, I can't see well enough to know what that is.
Well, here, I'll give you a picture of it. Everyone at home, you just have to imagine.
Looks like dogs, right?
It's like a giant gerbil.
Why would you put that on a shirt?
Look how cute it is.
You're seeing cute there?
Look at that face. Now I don't know the origin of the
Oh.
capybara. I need to ask him about why we are wearing our capybara jersey.
You do that. I'm going to ask him, how did he throw that good?
It's so good, right?
That was really good. That's something you want to put on a loop. That was the loop shot.
I like Will Hudson's game too. I've seen him bowl a couple SYCs.
Will Hudson coming back on lane 7.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got the 4-bagger now.
Now, Norm, when you see a player, so we're in the U18 boys division, okay? So at this point in their career or experience levels, many of them have been bowling for since they were U12.
Right.
Not all of them. A lot of them pick them up later. I actually think I need to look up, but I think Will Hudson might have picked up the game a little later. But when you see someone who's perfected the one-handed or the traditional, as they call it now, game, does it fill you with pride to see that, or do you? What do you think?
No, I was always in class of stay behind the line, knock them down,
Yeah.
and don't tell me how to do it.
Okay.
And when somebody says, well, stop throwing it over the cap because you're denting my lane. Well, fix your lane. I mean, that was the camp I was in. And I'm not saying it was bad. It was just that was the rule.
Right.
Stay behind the line, knock them down, and beat everybody in the building. So I don't care how you do it. Lefty, righty, straighty, two-hand, no hand, kicking it, do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love that.
I once met a guy in Tokyo that didn't have his extremities.
Okay.
So he rolled on the ground,
Wow.
rolled the ball, threw a backup ball with his right foot.
Wow.
His right foot was not very, he didn't have the whole leg. I wish I remembered the guy's name. He's such a wonderful guy. And what a great bowler. And he wouldn't stay. He'd roll up there and kick it down there. And I'm telling you, this guy was phenomenal. And so that was one of those things when I said, hey, stay behind the line, knock them down. That's all we care about.
I love that. Is there something that you see in a player when you're watching them when they're young that you, like when they do this, you're like, oh, they're gonna have a long career.
Like Brady right there, or like Josh, yes,
Yeah.
we recognize it. I mean, we recognize Belmo and Simo and Taggett.
You
really.
recognize Jillian. I remember you watching Jillian Martin.
Remember I told you in the thing, I said, have you seen this girl bowl?
Yeah. Yeah, you made me record it. I had to go get a video because you're like, she's doing things I want to do.
And then her dad comes to me with a photograph, said, can you sign this? This is you and her in one of your next level bowling camps about 5 years ago. And I said, we had a hand in that. I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest moments.
Well, and so Jillian was one of our most decorated SYC players. Spencer Robarge, of course, another one. But Gianna Brandolino, who recently took home the Duke.
And $60,000.
Amazing.
Yeah, we cried. I cried. She beat Prather. I mean, she's just like, hey, come on.
She's good.
I was so nervous for her because she only had to get 9. And I thought, that's harder than to get a strike. And she threw a strike anyway. That's awesome.
She has 13 SYC titles. New record. Beat Jillian.
I didn't know that.
Beat Spencer. Yeah.
Well, Will just thumbed down early a little bit on a 4-bagger and went Brooklyn. But he'll figure it out.
Joss is throwing pins already.
I know, and he needs to throw them because one's standing there every time, and another one just knocks it down. And you know what? That's part of power.
Yeah.
You know, when we were watching those guys hit 70 home runs in a year, that they didn't have to catch it all every time. They just had to get it over the fence.
You're not kidding. We got Manny over here, too. Manny Gruvera. So here's my fun... let me look this up before I tell... Okay, so we were talking about names, right? So Emmanuel came to me we were in, not Idaho. We were at an SYC. I think Florida, maybe.
Great shot.
He says Blair, because all his friends are calling him Manny. And I go, "Do you want us to announce you Emmanuel or Manny at the medal ceremony?" Because he was like leading. He's going for his first SYC title. He goes, "I don't know. What do you think?" Like, so I'm like, "It's your name. You have to pick." And he goes, "All right. Well, which one's cooler?" And I'm like, "Well, Manny is cooler. I think. Like Emmanuel, like." He's like, "All right, let's try Manny." So we announce him as Manny, and then he comes back. He's like, "Nah, I want to go back to Emmanuel." So then we go back to Emmanuel. But at the end of it, he's like, "I'm Manny."
I'm Manny now.
So
Right.
yeah, so he went through this whole name picking through the competition. It
Yeah,
happens.
well, Pete used to be Peter, and I used to be Norman. So you what's cooler? I like that. What's cooler?
Yeah, and wait till you see Manny here on lane 6. He throws a rock. It's pretty good. Although all these kids, like, how can you? I can't even pick one over another. Like, the title really could go to anyone. Got that one a little in.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's not his best game right now, but you know what? Part of winning tournaments is what can you do at your worst moments, not what are you doing in your best. And I've always said the putter in golf and the spare ball in bowling is your nucleus. If you don't have that, get it. Period. Just get it.
How did you learn? Obviously, by the end of your career, you were doing some positive self-talk.
Obviously, yeah.
Was it always positive self-talk?
No, in fact, there's always a negative in there. I call myself an idiot about as many times a day. Yesterday we were playing putt golf, and I said, "You're an idiot."
Out loud or in
Ronan,
your head?
no, out loud. Ronan was next to me, and Ronan looked at me. He's one of the juniors here.
Yeah.
He looked at me like, "Did you just call Norm Duke an idiot?" And I said, "Yes, I certainly did." So I was hard on myself too, but yeah, look, I figured out how that your mind can do extraordinary things for you and against you. If you can minimize that stuff that is against you and maximize the for, oh my word, it becomes a lot better equation. And so we see people, we call them, the helmet cases or whatever, and we see they're going to have to learn or they're going to go home.
Yeah.
What a great looking shot that is. And then he gets a 2-8-10, okay? But as he throws that, I'm thinking, that's got to be the best shot I've ever seen.
And here's Joss. We're going for 7 in a row.
Oh, he caught it on. Needs a delay.
I'm not saying I clouded that one.
Yeah, a little ground. Yeah, the Beth black cloud.
Black cloud. I'm not taking that one. Joss had his first 300 ever at an SYC once. It was so cool. Everyone was done bowling. He was the last one bowling down at the low end. Everyone was watching. And he threw the 12th ball. And he was, if we were in this house, I don't remember what center, but if he was bowling on 7 and 8, he was down at lane 30. That's how fast.
Just started running it out.
He
I
just
like
was
it.
running. And, like, he would have slid home if he could. So it was great.
That's a nice shot right there on lane 9. I'm looking at his scenario. He's got 2 opens. This is Mr. Price. He's got 2 opens in 7 frames with a strike up. He can either dust off those opens or make it worse. And he threw a shot at this doggone round.
Nice.
Love it. And that puts him at 180 and get out here with 200.
I love it.
Cannot unsee these animals on the shirt.
Capybara.
Capybara?
Capybara.
Capybara.
Yep. But look how adorable they are.
Yeah, I guess.
Norm's not signing on.
No.
Okay, so let's talk about jerseys for a half second.
Okay.
Right? So bowling balls, you had some bowling balls in your career,
Right.
but your jerseys were always a little subtle, right?
Always solid.
Yeah. So how these kids? These jerseys are
Not solid.
Like, would you have ever donned one of these?
Okay. When they come back, you can see how large the logo is on the front. Big Storm, big Rotogrip, big Hammer, all of it are big logos. I always thought about the company, so I wanted a solid shirt so that the logos, which were usually on our upper left or upper right chest, so that you could read them.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did flowers or anything like that, and I wanted my logos to pop. I wanted the companies to know that is visible.
That's a fair point.
And so I was always a solid shirt because of that. I wanted the logos to pop.
Yeah. I can see that.
But now the logos can be so big, you're going to see it either way, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not near as an issue now. So
I also love, there's like a pin on the Aiden's shirt. You'll see it on his sleeve. It's like, a ball is coming at him. Look, right here. This orange and black.
yeah,
See the pin?
I see the pin
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yeah, it has a face like the ball is coming at it and it's terrified.
Oh, it's terrifying. Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
it's a scaredy pin.
Scaredy
Look
cat.
at, it's just awesome. They think of everything now. We got swamp
A pin in
jerseys.
peril.
Pin in peril, exactly. We got swamp jerseys this weekend. There's gators on them.
Swamp jerseys. Yeah, now that is appropriate.
Yep. Mardi Gras. I just love Will's game. I really do.
Yeah, it's pretty sound and solid. And I tell you what, when you look up there at his score, he's got 1, 2, 3 9 counts and 8 count all spares and a 4-bagger. You know, you can deal with that. Every single game, you can deal with that. Make 230 in the 10th, I'll take that every game.
Absolutely.
Win a lot of tournaments, wouldn't I?
Not wrong. Norm, we're getting down to the end of game number 5. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got going on. U18 boys.
Oh, Carson needs that to hold. Even to get skinny Brooklyn, he needed it to hold.
So in the U18 boys division, listen to these scores, Norm. McKellen Gagme started game 1, 244. Then he kind of fell off a little bit, 212. Jumped back on, 230, 242. Those are his first 4 scores. You want that block?
Yeah.
He's the current leader in the clubhouse. I'm not sure what he's. He's
Norm,
actually going to finish up.
Norm,
down
do
on
you want that block? It's the lead. Of course I do.
plus 128. I mean, his low game is 212. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And this is the short pattern, which is going to separate the field. Normally, the short patterns, you'll have the best scores and the worst.
Yes. We make them start on that. We're like, hey, welcome to the SYC. Here you go.
Right.
It'll get better for you.
It'll be
though.
good lunch for some of you and not so good for others.
Yeah. We did have someone ask us one time if we would ever consider reversing the order.
And what would you say?
Well, I'd never been asked, so I had to hear out. I said, well, I've never been asked this question, so could you explain why you're asking? And they said, well, my youth bowler has a really hard time with the short, but has a really easy time with the long. And the mental toll would be different if we reverse the order of the patterns.
Right, because he'd have 2 really good days before he had to. Yeah, of course. Or
Right,
she.
right.
Or she.
So they just were curious of how the outcome might change. And so we took it into consideration, and I think we talked about it, but it's really hard. Like when you have a tournament like ours where there's no blocks per se, right? So you're all bowling together. So
Right.
squad equality is not a question.
Right.
They bowl 5 games on each pattern. We do try to, minus going to different centers, keep it as consistent as possible. So then if we start reversing things, it's not consistent. And I don't know. What do you think?
I think that either way's good. You
Right.
know, we always had different patterns every week. We bowl in the same pattern the whole time until the dual patterns came up.
Sure.
Watch this kid on lane 6. You want to now he's going to pull. It looks like 250.
Oh, this is Sebastian Vetter.
And I'll tell you what, this is just about the easiest strap. I mean, that's EJ Taggart easy right there. I love that.
Sebastian.
All right, so
Vetter.
people ask why. Excuse me. Why is the field separated in the short more so than the long? Here's why. The short pattern, you're going to have more hook on the back end. That means you're going to have to feed the ball away from the pocket or start way out, one of the two. And anytime you're feeding the ball away from what is the intended target, then you're going to have more of a miss. Your mistakes are going to be amplified, right? But because you get more hook on the back end, you get more power into the pin. So if you've got it going, you get more power in the pins. If you don't have it going, you get more misses. So it separates the field. The longer the pattern, of course, the straighter people are playing. And the more the ball holds. So it'll hold Brooklyn. It'll hold on the nose. It'll hold on the head pin, right? You don't miss the head pin near as much on a long pattern as you do on a short, believe it or not. The gutter is out of play on the long pattern. Gutter's in play on the shorts. That's why you separate the short, the field, the shorter the pattern.
Now, to your point, too, and I think the youth bowler that we were talking about needed to listen to your seminars, right? Because there's no favorite pattern.
No favorite.
You should never have a favorite pattern.
Well, I always said, if I have a favorite, that means is I have a least favorite.
Right.
And there lies the problem. I never wanted to be shot in the foot before I walked in, ever. Don't do that to me. And so I came in every single first game thinking I can win the tournament, no matter what. Now, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know, but I wouldn't change it. No
40
way.
titles, I wouldn't change anything you've I mean,
Thank you.
honestly. Like,
Right in the
incredible.
10th frame, we could have blown it up for 230. Instead, we chopped 6 off the 10, and we shoot 215. Now, that is why I throw a backup ball at 610. I'm going to eliminate chop, completely eliminate chop. I can throw a little bit of curve at the 4-7 as a right-hander. I can throw a little bit of a backup ball at the 610, and I will never chop. Okay. How many pins a year is that? Well, you take the greatest bowler on earth, and I'll get 400 pins a year spot if I can take chop out of play, period. That's the way I think.
Great tips.
I wish I thought that way the first 20 years of my career. I would
Might have 80 titles.
have done a lot better.
I don't know. 40 titles, Norm. That's an incredible feat.
Right, but after 10 years, I had one.
I know. I know.
I was one of those pros you felt sorry for.
Oh, but how inspiring now that you get to tell the kids that story and show this story of overcoming that. You easily, and I say this with all the respect in the world, easily could have quit in those years.
Oh, should have quit.
But you didn't.
If I'd have had anything to fall back on, Blair, I would have quit because I wanted out. I knew I couldn't beat them, but I was building something at the same time. And as soon as I'd say I can't beat them, I'd say, "Bobo, you wait until I get this," or "Yeah, you wait," and then I wouldn't, and then I'd say I'm quitting. And, I was back and forth for a while.
Well, we're lucky to have Norm Duke, and Joss finishes with a mystery score game.
Mystery score.
253. You don't get those very often.
No.
Do you know, and he didn't do this, but do you know what Matt McNeil calls anytime you leave 5? I just spent a weekend with
A 5 washout or any 5?
Anytime you leave 5 pins.
Okay, what is that?
It is a half and half.
Okay. Okay, I used to call it a half a loaf.
And then, on top of it, it's a coffee creamer.
Because half is coffee creamer.
So he'll call it, oh, look, he's shooting a coffee creamer.
I love Matt.
Matt McNeil.
We all know that my man, if you're in bowling trivia and you're against Matt McNeil, you lose. Done.
Yeah, but if you have him on your team, you win.
He knows that not only the score, but what the people did in each frame.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just dumb. You just ask him as a trivia and make it hard. And he'll just say, oh, well, I think it's, well, he got a 4-9 in the 8th, and then he struck out for 199. You're like, you gotta be kidding me.
Do you ever call him up and go, hey Matt, what did I do? In
I
19?
have. Twice I did. I said, do you remember this? He goes, oh, yeah. I got that.
That's awesome. Norm, we're gonna take a lunch break and come back and bowl 5 more games on the medium. Well,
Let's
we're
do
not
that.
gonna bowl, but we're gonna watch bowling. So, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all at 2:30 p.m. Central Time.
You've been watching the 2024 SYC Louisiana. The SYC Louisiana would not be possible without the generous donations from our sponsors: Storm Bowling, Coolwick, PBA Junior, Kegel, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Shoes, Ray's Eyewear, Ballard's Bowling Academy, Master Industries, Quality Respite and Home Care, and by T&D Transportation. Special thanks to the official scoring system of the Storm Youth Championships, Bowlmetrics. The preceding was produced exclusively by Storm Bowling. For more information on upcoming events and more, please visit stormbowling.com. Once again, thanks for watching.